Anyway, this is the annual meeting on November 8, 2025, and I'm going to talk about the benefits that APCUG offers. Listen carefully. You might not know about some of them. You might have thought about trying them and then forgotten about that. But most of these are offered because member groups have said we can't get presenters. So back in the day, Don Singleton and I got together and thought, what are we going to do? We're not having any in-person conferences anymore. And so we came up with the Speakers Bureau. And we didn't do anything with it because we really only had a couple of us that were willing to do it. And we finally got somebody that said, hey, I'll join you. And I opened it up and off we went. So things come like that. We don't sit around thinking of these things. We'd like the member groups to come up with something that they would like. We don't want to dictate to you. We want to take what you've got and do something with it. So the benefits committee is there to solicit ideas for new benefits from you guys. Where if we can do it, the most asked one back in the day was, can you get insurance for us? Well, I doubt that there's probably less than a dozen groups now that have insurance. So, and we couldn't do that anyway, but that was the most asked. But almost everything that has been asked of us, we've put together. We do have a discount from Take Control Books, 30%. And they used to be located in San Diego. Now they are in Canada. And they primarily Mac, Apple, but they do have some for Windows folks. I don't believe they have anything for the dreaded Chromebooks. So we have free hosted websites. When COVID came about, groups were having to definitely meet online. Many of them did not have a way to do that. Many of them all of a sudden couldn't use their websites because all of a sudden the price went up so bad. So what did APCUG? Judy asked David Williams, can we have hosted websites? And he said, of course you can, as long as you do it. And so Francis Chow that's his job. He is the last member of the Online Services Committee. And if your hosting service costs you too much, you just don't have enough money for it, or they've gone belly up, you can always get a free site from APCUG. And did you get that word free? You pay $50 dues. This is a part of your benefits. And we have, those are the states where we have one or two free websites. Again, what you need to do, you need to create your website, check it out with Francis to make sure the program that you are using can be hosted by GoDaddy. And when Ray talked about, it being no cost to us anymore, really, we used to have to pay $25 each for the SSL certificates. And Francis said we should have a Linux server. So I picked up the phone and I called GoDaddy and said, hey, could we move to a Linux server? And they said, oh, you are the one of the last two groups that is using a Windows server. So thank you for doing that. And Francis said, I'll move everybody's website from the Windows to the Linux. And oh, by the way, the SSL certificates are free with the Linux server. So that worked out really well. So if you need it, we are here. You are responsible for it. Francis will show you how to download and all that good kind of stuff. Anytime you want to update it, you just go ahead and update it. You don't have to talk to him. You don't have to talk to me. We don't care what you're doing. We just don't want you to muck it up. And that's technical talk. And You can choose to pay for your own domain name, or you can be, let's use Los Angeles Computer Society. They aren't one of these people, but you could be lacs.apcug.org, your domain name, you're not paying for it, it's free. If you still want your domain name, it's on you to pay for it. Okay? You have any questions? Be more than happy to put you in touch with Francis. So, push articles, I've been negligent on that this year. We do have permission to reprint Ask Bob Rankin, Leo Notenboom, his Ask Leo, How to Geek, Review Geek. Tech Boomers is now Tech Life Unity. That makes absolutely no sense to me, but it's got the same kind of content. You can use any of that content, any of their presentations they put together for your meetings. All it did was take an email and say, would you let us do this? And they've given presentations a couple of times on what they offer and what you can use. Sin Mackley, Tech Whisperer, she will be giving, thanks to John Kennedy, a presentation, the first meeting in January. He was so enamored of you kind of using your smartphones for everything, and took a chance, sent an email and say, would you give us permission to give this? And she said, oh, I'd love to give it myself. After he picked himself up off the floor, he got in touch with me and I said, oh, darn, I wanted to be the one to give it. But she will be with us in January. He talked to her last June. Make use of and Dave's computer tips. You just need to give attribution with the name of the article, the person who wrote it, the date of it, and the website address. Feel free. The team for the Wednesday workshops and the Saturday Safari Zoom meetings are Bill, John, and me. And in 2025 to date, we've had 60 plus unique presentations with 120 plus hours of learning for attendees. And there are 407 videos on our YouTube channel. And there's 102,175 YouTube viewers to date, up from 5,000 and change in 2024. We also have free Zoom accounts that you can use. You just hardly have any money in the bank left, or you've turned into a social club and you are no longer collecting dues. You can use one of our free Zoom accounts, and we have 4 of them. One of them we use all the time, and they're administered by John, and he has a nifty set of instructions on how to use them. We have 13 groups using it now, and they do it for their general meetings, their board meetings, or their SIGs, and I deal in colors, so this makes total sense to me. If you are purple, like the Durham group, those are when they use the account. Tacoma is also purple. And the seniors group from San Diego meets every single Saturday morning at 10:30 p.m. a.m. I'm sorry, Pacific time, and so on. And again, if you need this kind of help, we're here to give it to you. Look at my blank dates, and each color is a different time frame, from Pacific to Eastern, and we can have 2 on a day because if they're in different time zone, it's no big deal. Group sharing meetings, I thought this was a good idea. If you're out and about and you want to, you're just passing through and you've looked at the list and said, oh, look, I'm going to be in fill in the blank and their meeting date, feel free to let them know, send them an email that you will be there. The Ottawa PC Users Group should also be read. Their group meets online and in person, I believe. and let them know that you would like to attend their meetings. They'll send you the encrypted URL. Many people have joined a group that they have found that they really like that's in another state. So they belong to two groups, their home group and another group. I gave a presentation to a group in the upper Midwest, and there were 6 people there who were visitors. And I thought, oh, if this is working, isn't this cool? And another benefit a president told me was it gives her a chance to see what the other group is doing in running their meeting, because their group's been meeting and doing the same thing all the time. And she thought this was a great benefit for her to take a look at what's going on someplace else and getting an idea that they might want to start using in her Arizona group. So this is fun. I did that one presentation. I did another presentation. Half of the same group of people that were attending the first one were in the second one. The next day, I gave a third presentation in a different area of the United States, and there were still 2 people. And the 2 people, they weren't following me. They were just attending groups they normally attended because they liked their presentations, they liked what they did, and so on and so forth. So we've got that for you. And we have the website. I'm sorry, Chromebook people, but there's not too much PR about Chromebooks out in the world, except for this is the cheapest one right now. This is the best Chromebook right now. So I changed that to artificial intelligence, and Mr. James put the graphic together for me, and Mr. Kennedy has been using his graphics since he's been, in elementary school, so to speak. And my graphic goes along with my 23-year-old Southwest Tech Conference in San Diego. So we've got About Us. There we have our Windows and Android tips. And by the way, I'm not supposed to be doing any of these, but the people who said they would do it, I give Jerry Minnick with the Apple ones kudos, because at least he moved. Everybody else is still around. But anyway, they're right there. You can click through to our YouTube. Below that, we have membership dues, renewal, new group, so on and so forth. And we did just get a new group in Illinois last week, which is way cool. So you want to know anything about APCUG? We'll be 40 years old next year, and we're celebrating with Sin Mackley in January. But there we all are. There's our history, logos that you can download, committees, and then if you want to contact people and you have absolutely no how to do it, you'll find emails to all the different positions. And there's member benefits list there. Like I said, we have one discount. We did not have any contests this year, but if you want to know about hosted websites, your editor is blah. Been doing the newsletter for 16,000 years, looking for something new. They come to the newsletters online, and they can check out the few groups newsletters that are still going. There's the grant program that Mr. Baxter just talked about, Speakers Bureau. We used to have virtual tech conferences on Saturday, but we don't anymore, but I didn't want to take that down. And there's workshops and Zoom meeting information. And if you want to locate somebody in your state, up in the upper right-hand corner, you can see Locate a User Group. And you can reach this from the home page. And this is what it takes you to. And if you're interested in the groups in California, you would click on that right arrow, down arrow to the right of all states, and choose CA, and boom, there we would come up. And it comes up with then and you all really should check this out and make sure the information where this is coming from is correct. It is from your group's membership information in the membership database, which is the UGLS. But the contact person might have died 3 years ago and nobody's updated it. So that's kind of homework. Check at the UGLS and see if your information, it gives you your lat long and all that good kind of stuff. And make sure you're still meeting where it says you are, because the last thing anybody thinks to do is update their information in the UGLS. Here's our Facebook page. Oh God, I just love that picture of Mrs. Geek up there. That is how you look younger and more beautiful when you are around the world cruise. And Geeks on Tour are doing it for 2 years. You miss having them giving a presentation to your group? Not to worry. They will give your group a presentation. That's no problem. Their cabin is set right up for them to do that. Sarasota in the upper left-hand corner has something new. That's Jim Searney. He does the help a half hour before their general meetings, but now he has a thing that he is doing, and it's for beginners. Let's all learn from the very beginning. We all know we've been coming to our meetings for 16,000 years. You get somebody new in off the street that just got a computer and they're going, duh, what in the world are they talking about? That's what Jim is doing. LibreOffice, John, it's hooray for LibreOffice, November 2025. And we have a link to the ARP, a Fraud Watch, and so on and so on and so on. So I have very few people from the APCUG groups that follow APCUG. The majority of them are out of the country and someplace else. They must think we have something to offer. But just check it out. And if your group has a Facebook page, let me know. One of my assignments years ago from David Williams was for me to visit every single website and see what kind of social media links they had. And it took me 2 years to do it because we had a heck of a lot of more groups. And by the time I'd finished, then another group would be on social media. But if you're not sending something to me by, because you're connected to APCUG's Facebook page, please do that so we can have more publicity about our groups. Speakers Bureau, we've had 264 requests through today and this is through December in advance too, but I'm sure I'll get some more. And it's an asset, because I've done many surveys and they have said, I get so tired of the same person giving the presentation. And that person says, and I am so tired of being the only one in my group that gives a presentation. Hence the Speakers Bureau. We have well over 100 to choose from. They're interactive, they're there talking to us, they're giving the presentation, they're doing live Q&A afterwards, etc. So here's the first batch of our 15 presenters. Ray's listed on the list with his presentations. You go to Ron Brown's Tech for Senior website and look for his. Francis has a website with all of his. He's adding all the time. And Sue has all her genealogy presentations listed there. Thinking about starting a group and thinking, oh my gosh, I really need to come up with some presentations. Speakers Bureau, Sue, that's the one you want to go to. Then you want to get involved with Huey's Let's Talk AI and their STUG, Sarasota Technology Users Group. and Central Florida Computer Society Social Club, SIG. And then after that, they have the meeting for CFCS Social Club. They are no longer a nonprofit. They are no dues, no officers. So don't think you have to always have officers. You can turn it into a social club. Ray Baxter also has one. Then we have Mark with his infamous roll of paper towels in his office. Chris from Ottawa, me, Rob Truman, he has a Geezer's website where all his presentations are. Geeks on Tour, you can look at their list on their page and find something, and they will be more than happy to give it to you. The time frame might they might be doing it like from Japan the next day at a real strange time, their time. And then we have Bob G, and I put his storybook videos and more. You do need to check out all of everything that is on his blog spot, because he's a member of APCUG, a cool guy, and his stuff is excellent. So all you need to do is complete the form. And a word to the wise, we don't know why, but when you click submit, I don't sometimes get it. That gets to the website, but the website says, I'm not sending that to Judy. And our programmer Annette and John and David back in the day, David Williams, we've never been able to figure out why. So in the pop-up I have, if you don't hear back from Judy within 2 days, send her an email at jtalor@blah, blah, blah. And then I have to go on to the website and pick up the information, and I will send you a blank form, and then you can just fill that out when you want a presentation and send it to me directly, and we can say poo-poo to the website for not forwarding it to me. Membership dues are $50. Oh, look down there. It says begins December 1 and ends December 31. We give you an extra 30-some days before you're off the Christmas list. We know, you maybe have to have your board approve it, and you didn't have a board meeting in December, and, it's late in the month in January. Just let us know, and you will get a copy of everything anybody sends out through the end of January, and after that, it's goodbye. You can rejoin if you would like to. If you decide not to rejoin until after July 1st, you can pay $75 for half of the year through, it would be 2027 if that happened this year. But don't forget, hey, the other thing is you must, and let me see, I'm thinking of my legal department stuff here, you should complete the short renewal form. We need that information. We have received 2 renewals, and Ray got them. Lee and I didn't get them. And then he sends the updated, Excel spreadsheet to us, and we go, oh, because nobody filled the form out. And the form, but that's information we need. And if everybody and their brother has left and you have completely new officers and a new meeting location, then you need to fill out the really long form, because again, we need to put that in your record. And the APCUG rep and the president can get in touch with Lee, and she will give them both a password, same thing, and you can update your own record, or you can ask your advisor to do it for you. And here's the short form, and boom, you pay. And I'm finished.
Okay. Thank you, Judy, for very extensive remarks. Appreciate them very much. I'm now going to turn the meeting over to Bill James regarding the APCUG elections.
Thanks, Bob.
There you
In
go.
response to the email that we sent out regarding nominations and volunteers for the Board of Directors, as well as the Board of Advisors, I will I will ask for any nominations from the floor for our volunteers from the floor for the Board of Directors. Any volunteers or nominations for the position for the Board of Directors? Hearing none, yes? Hearing none, we did receive a volunteer via email, Sue Mueller. And I'd like to read her resume. Sue is a dedicated educator and lifelong learner from Giroid, Pennsylvania. She holds a Bachelor's of Arts degree from Allegheny College in Meadville, and a Master's in Education from Penn West's Edinburgh. Susan's professional background includes teaching students from grades 6 to 12, as well as junior college, and serving as an administrator for several nonprofit organizations focused on education and training. She's a member of the Computer Users of Erie since 2011. She's active, has been an active force within the club. She has served on the board of directors since 2011, including one term as secretary, and has contributed her leadership to both the genealogy and Windows special interest groups, guiding the genealogy SIG for 7 years and the Windows SIG for 2. Her enthusiasm for technology, history, and education continues to inspire members of the CUG community. So hearing none, or no volunteers or nominations from the floor, I recommend that Sue be elected unanimously, and she will serve on the board of directors from 2026 to 2027.
Welcome, Sue.
And congratulations.
Absolutely.
Now for the board of advisors. Likewise, there was a email sent out asking for volunteers and our nominations. And so I now ask, are there any volunteers or nominations from the floor? Are there any nominations or volunteers from the floor? Hearing none, John Kennedy and Judy Taylor will continue as advisors. And I recommend that they be elected unanimously with unanimous consent, and they will serve on the board of advisors from 2026 to 2027. Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that.
Congratulations, by the way, congratulations, Judy and John.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to turn the meeting back over to Judy Tolura, our advisor chair, and she's going to introduce the advisors that are here today, and each of them will give a short report about the regions they represent.
Okay, it's me. Acting for Region 1, Alan Sherman resigned, and we will need to find somebody in that region. And this is about the New York Amateur Computer Club. They have been around for 50 years. APCUG hasn't been around for 50 years. Anyway, they just celebrated their 50th anniversary, and the presentation was all about the history of stuff in the world of technology. And they also have a radio show. They've had one for 35 years. And what is his name? He is the, person who is been sitting there talking about computers and technology and stuff for 35 years, hardware, you name it. The show is a 3-time winner of the prestigious National Computer Press Award, and member Hank Key is the moderator. So they've been doing that along with their meetings and their SIGs for 35 years. The club in Rochester, the Rochester Computer Society, they use one of our free Zoom accounts for their meeting. Not too shabby. And their October meeting featured videos on cybersecurity and mass data breaches, the rise of Internet of Things and smart home tech. And in November, which every group should do, is an overview of tech gadgets and things like that, if for nothing else, that you can ask when your kids say, okay, you don't need anything. You say, oh, yes, I do. I just learned about this at our meeting, and I would love one of those as a holiday present. There's few other groups that do the same thing. And in January, they are going to have a potluck meeting. And I thought, oh, cool. But they just had one in October. Because I'm thinking food. No. Members bring a short video to share with everybody who attends the meeting. You don't know what to do. That would be something new, but it's got a cute name. Other groups do that, but it's the potluck. It goes, oh, we're having food. Oh, no, we're not. And they are a hybrid group. They are in a meeting room and actually in their Zoom stuffs down the hall. And then they have a presentation room. And their past meetings have been about, December was AI in healthcare, electric vehicles today. So they are all over the place with what they are giving, offering their members. Some of those are Speakers Bureau or group presentations. Tech Ed Connect, now they're a group in New York that completely reinvented themselves. They used to be the Westchester PC user group, and they said, passe, bye, gone. I attended the meeting where they were going to choose a new name, and honest to Pete, they must have had 35 names to choose from. Members voted on it. Good way to get, grab the members and get them in the process. And so they are Tech Ed Connect. And think about this. I talked about the storybooks, or Bob did, about on your website. They have a 30-second commercial and it just says commercial right across here. And somebody talks about what they do, what they have to offer. And they have they have over 10 special interest groups, and those groups went on all through COVID. They just switched from in person to Zoom, and they have found a library where they can meet occasionally, so they've got that going. And in Region 5, there is the Central Florida Computer Society that Huey belongs to. And Huey's belonged to it forever and a day. Well, Huey moved over to the other side of Florida to Sarasota, so then he belonged to both groups. Who wants to be elected officer? Nobody raised their hand. Everybody been doing it forever, and they said, not me. Forget about it. They said, we're going to close. And they did. They got turned back their 501c3. They got rid of all of their money. They got rid of their stuff, and they turned into a social club. And Ray Baxter, Payson, he has a social club. No officers, no dues. They meet, and it's online, and all is wonderful. So if you are thinking, we're going to have to, disband, you can and still keep going with absolutely no problem at all. And they certainly did. They used various online resources to support their membership. They use a Discord BBS. You remember the BBS days? We were so much younger then. For social interaction and club coordination, they archive all their virtual meetings on their YouTube channel. They have the WinSig special interest group that Huey Poplock has been doing forever and a day. And now it's the CFCS/STUG, because remember, he belongs to two groups now. And when he, moved over to Sarasota, his quote was, Judy, I am not going to do anything other than be a member at Sarasota. Ha! And I believed him. I guess you could sell me that swampland in Florida too. But they hold Central Florida Computer Society has their meeting right after his WinSig. And they have presentations. They use Google Groups to send out notices. And they're just moving right along like they always were. Charlotte County. I love this. The mission of the Charlotte County Computer Group is to promote computer literacy by providing a non-technical environment for learning and sharing knowledge, and to refurbish donated computers to be made available at no cost to kids, veterans, and other nonprofits. But I can't quite wrap my head around a non-technical way to work on technology, but I'm going to send them an email and ask. They have a printable calendar. Do you guys have a printable calendar for easy reference for your members on what's happening on what day? And what I liked was the banner across the top that said, the office is still closed except for these days and these times. Communicating with their members, letting them know exactly what is happening. And eat your heart out, they welcomed 8 new members this month. So wouldn't we all like to be able to do that? The Hernando group, they meet at a senior citizen club in Florida. And they too refurbish and donate computers. And APCUG, they use mostly Speakers Bureau for the presentations. Every once in a while, their president will give one, but they rely on the Speakers Bureau. Space Coast is a charter member. They've been with APCUG from the very beginning. And the Sun City Center facility, their name is just the Computer Club. They're into recycling. They donate equipment to community association clubs. They have outreach. They have given classes at the Mary Martha House, the women's prison, and local churches. I found that interesting. Region 9, Prescott. JB said, he gave presentations to an OLLI. Pat Aces has an OLLI, but this is an idea for a meeting in a group to join in your area, or just to coordinate with. And that OLLI is a free senior group that meets at a JC. And a few of us, Bill's given presentations, John's giving a presentation, I believe. I've given several presentations to them. They're all seniors, and it's interesting because their field isn't this. They're just casual users. And the questions that they ask absolutely blow your mind. And it's really interesting. Region 10, APCUG, they said, the president says, I've been president for 16,000 years. I have worked full time. The whole entire time, I have been taking care of my parents. It's really time to go. They turned into a social club, and they meet on the same night they used to. They also use a free account. And I attended one of their meetings. I was going to say the president, the person who was known as president, gave one of his really great presentations. And then they have a random access afterwards, and their members always do what Rochester does with the potluck videos. And that's where I learned that Leo Notenboom said you really don't have to go from 10 to 11. And I thought, why didn't I know that before now? And Melbourne is always extremely technical, that kind of goes over my head. And they have a series on the microcontroller discovery, the absolute basics. And it goes with Arduino, I don't know how to pronounce that, ARDUINO version 2. And it's free, but I love this. It's free, but they would like people to bring a gold coin for the tea coffee kitty. We're going to have to find out what that gold coin is and see if we can get Richard Bradford to give us one when he attends one of our meetings here. So that's it. Over to
$102 coin.
over to Gabe Goldberg with Region 2. And he is also retiring. So we have 2 spaces that need to be filled, one for Region 1 and one for Region, and Region 1 also has international, because Canada is right next to close by to New York.
I believe Gabe has left the meeting because he had another appointment and didn't realize he was running this late.
Okay, Mr. John.
Good afternoon. I'm the regional advisor for all of the clubs that kind of surround the western Great Lakes, all the way from Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and then sweeps around up the coast through the Wisconsin and everything. Groups I've worked with, I've been the same groups pretty much for the last number of years. They're all pretty much handling things well since the COVID crisis. We have groups in our region that go from each extreme, from one group or 2 groups that are in person only. They don't do anything with the internet, so they don't take part in speakers bureau or things like that, but they do have their local meetings with their one presenter who presents almost every time. And then we have at the other end, we've got a few groups that, due to financial or loss of meeting facilities, are strictly web-based or Zoom-based or online. And they're doing fine because all of their members like it, because there's no travel and doesn't matter what the weather is like. And you can leave your house 2 minutes before the meeting starts and be there on time. And when the meeting's over, in 2 minutes, you're back down in your comfy chair. We have groups, many groups that are trying to do hybrid, allowing people who want to come in to be able to come in and meet with people, and those that want to stay in their homes. So we have all of those ranges. We have groups that have specialties. We've got one group that does a fantastic job of classrooms. They still have lots of classes and workshops that they teach because they have a location where they can do that. We have one group that's not even a meeting group. it's a refurbished group. All they do is refurbish computers and get them out to places in their community. So there's no meetings, no nothing else. They just meet and build. We've got other groups that have repair times and do a lot of work with repairing their members' computers, and non-members who we kind of push into membership because we tell them, or they tell them that if you took this device to somebody to see what was wrong, it would cost you more than what our membership is, and you'd be a member and we'll help you fix it. We've got another group who is working on creating a computer museum or a technology museum where they're gathering up old stuff and take them on the road. One group is actually 3 groups in one. Chicago has such a big area that they have 3 different satellite areas that do groups. So we've got a lot of groups in the North or Midwest, North Midwest that are very striving. We have one group that we're going to be trying to work with that is considering disbanding. And what we're going to hopefully try to do is say, hey, we have the benefits that if you stick it around, we can take care of the Zoom because the person who was doing it before isn't doing it. We've got problems with our meeting. So we've got problems with getting speakers. We can resolve all of that with our benefits of Speakers Bureau, Zoom meetings, and even websites. So we're going to be trying to hopefully see if we can't keep that group from totally disbanding. So that's a lot of activities, a lot of groups. They keep going strong all the way. And I hardly hear from them because they're doing so well, they don't need any help from their advisor. So keep it up, Regions 3 and 6. Go for it.
Bill James, you're it.
Thank you, Judy. I'm the regional advisor for Kansas, Illinois, Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana, and my own home state of Oklahoma. I'd just like to highlight just a couple clubs that I'm aware of, some of their activities they were doing. The SINCOM, which is located in Kansas City, has an interesting group they call Senior Techie SIG, where this group, they come together to share and discuss computer and tech issues to help expand their knowledge. And what makes that interesting to me is that normally this is a smaller group, and seniors can be able to discuss their particular issues in a smaller setting, and perhaps be able to get a better understanding of what and how to use their particular devices. So sometimes seniors in a larger setting are intimidated, and having a SIG that is just strictly dedicated to them really helps, particularly if you have a club that has a mixed age group. So that's something that I think is worth pursuing if you have a club that has different age groups that are mixed together. They also have an active Linux SIG, which is nice because those are kind of far in between, but the Kansas City people do have one. The Cajun Clickers, they're located in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. They've been around since 1989, and their club is featuring a series of AI for seniors. AI is something that is being used a lot. I think there's lots of misunderstanding that can be clarified if you have a discussion of the various tools that are available and how they're used. So you might want to consider having a discussion on AI. The Computer Club of Oklahoma City, which is the club that I belong to, will be giving up its brick and mortar facilities at the end of December. In January, we will become a Zoom only meeting. A Zoom only club, although we will be meeting once a month in person at a senior living facility. So we're kind of gearing up for that. But other than that, there has not been any other significant activities that I'm aware of. I would encourage my club to drop me an email and let me know if they're doing anything particular that might be interested, that might be that I can report. Um, but other than that, we haven't lost any clubs and we haven't gained any clubs. So I think we're, as a region, we're doing fairly well.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Kennedy. And John thinks that we need to go. That we've been here long enough. I haven't had breakfast yet, but that's neither here nor there. But we have a survey that I think I'm going to hire Sue to come over to my house and clean. That is so cool. Anyway, a survey that I really would like the answers to. So I am going to send it out to all of the attendees today, plus all of the the officers that are listed in the user group locator hoo-ha thing. And hopefully I'll get more than 34 answers back, although I sincerely doubt it, because I'm of the opinion that user groups are takers and APCUG are the offers, so to speak. But I'm really interested in what you have to say. And I used to do this back in the day, and that's how the Speakers Bureau came about. That's how the group sharing, blah, 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 blah. I got all these ideas. I don't think of them myself. I listen to you people and then put them all together. What I would like is if you could quickly let us know, is there anything that APCUG can do to help your group? Do you have any benefit that you have thought of and had it up your sleeve forever and a day? This is your opportunity to tell us about it. And I hope this doesn't happen like when John and I ask for people who give presentations to their groups to give them to all of you guys too. But speak up. I don't know if you're afraid. I can't believe that nobody, zero people, don't have an idea or two. And as you can see, this was really a warts and all today. I couldn't even pronounce one of the words. So does anybody have an idea of a benefit that you've seen in another group that you belong to that you might think would work for the APCUG member groups? I always hope, and I keep my fingers crossed. Why doesn't anybody talk but me? I go to meetings and I don't say anything, and people ask me why I don't spout out ideas, and I say because I don't have anything to say. Here I have stuff to say, either from experience or talking, or like going to the APCUG meeting and finding out what's going on, looking at all the websites and see what kind of presentations they're having and what they're still doing. I was like, oh, shoot. Oh no, there she is. I would like Jasmine Blue to come up with an idea or two. What you guys don't know is Jasmine Blue's a cat. I know. Jasmine doesn't share either, so what the heck. And you know, I got maybe 2 hours sleep last night putting this stuff together. Sometimes I work 24 hours straight through on APCUG stuff. Oh, I know, I saw that. Is yours different? Good. No, no, that was my question.
Okay, Judy, I don't know, this isn't tech related, but what our group does is we have 3 social events a year in addition to our Zoom meetings. We do in the spring, we do an appetizers for dinner group. We have a picnic in September, and then we have a Christmas party.
Yep.
And that gets sometimes a different group out than attends the general meetings. You know, sometimes people only attend a SIG. Sometimes people attend nothing except the social events.
Of course. That's the reasons they wanted their group to come back. They wanted to eat.
Yeah.
Well, Pikes Peak up the hill, they have the Digerati. They do breakfast on Saturday. And they meet at the same restaurant. They've recently had to change restaurants. And they sit around the table and talk about technology in a casual atmosphere. They've been doing it for years. CENTCOM, that Bill talked about, they have lunch. They have presenters. They had from somebody from the cop shop give a scam presentation recently. Sarasota, they decided their members voted on it and said, we want to meet via Zoom. You know, the library kept saying you don't have as much time because we can't get staff. This is after COVID and blah, blah. And so they said, okay, let's meet and eat. And well, that got boring for them. So all of a sudden you know, I get the information and absolutely beautifully crafted flyers about Bill Crow, Apple, and Huey Poplock, Windows or whatever. They're going to give a presentation at the next quarterly lunch. So much for just having lunch. They wanted to get their tech stuff too. And the APCUG, they're meeting, and they have their anniversary meeting at the beach. Well, they had, even though they're a social group and we're not going to do, you know, and they had that. They have a Christmas do where people bring stuff they don't want anymore and put it on the table and you can take it if you want it type thing. So the groups that only meet online, if it's important enough for them, they find out some way to get together. Walk in Wisconsin, they meet in the basement, for goodness sakes. And they are recently branching out into lunch. Let's meet for lunch here at this restaurant or there. Those are the ones that pop into my head that are doing that. They want their social fix because people really liked having the coffee, having whatever, either a break in the middle between presentations, or at my group, the refreshment table was set up and you could get your coffee on the way in. Of course, with my group, you had to put the tables out, the chairs out, all of my computer stuff and the projector and the screen and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, they like to sit around and chat. And so they're reaching out and going to some of the really great restaurants that are in their particular town. And so you might think about doing something like that if your members would like to. Just ask them, get their buy-in. That's what Sarasota did. Board people went into the library, they set everything up, and 3 people came. And again, and they said to each other, why are we doing this? There's nobody coming to the library. They're all online. So they voted. boards often don't take time to ask their members their opinion. And they came up with, let's have presentations in addition to our food. So
All
does
right.
anybody else have anything like that? And I don't thank you for participating. Leah, yeah, Leah goes to Sizzler or a Chinese restaurant every single year, and she's by LAX. I
Yeah,
will,
we've been going quarterly to the Sizzler. And then we have a holiday party, which this year is gonna be in January because everybody's so busy in December.
good job.
So, mhm.
I will shut up, Mr. Baxter. I didn't, I wanted, but
Thank you. Let's get back to the meeting because now it's open for general discussion. So
oh,
if you'd
that
like,
was general discussion.
that was general discussion. I didn't hear the official announcement.
Sure.
So if any final comments? I'm going to make a final comment. I'm thrilled that Sue Mueller is joining our APCUG group. And we did something earlier this year that I want other clubs maybe to consider. I find that most of our clubs members are senior citizens. I've also found that genealogy is a hobby that is attracted mostly to senior citizens. So I belong to a genealogy club here in Payson, as my wife and I do. And so we did a joint meeting. And we had a presentation that Sue did an excellent job with. And we had my computer club joining us via Zoom and the genealogy club in person. And we ended up getting 2 new members in the computer club from the genealogy club by doing that. So I want to recommend to everybody to take advantage of Sue's great genealogy presentation. And it's a way to bring 2 clubs together and have perhaps some cross membership.
Mhm.
All right, I'm noticed that now the meeting is going to be, okay, Murray, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, is Sue's presentation available somewhere easily findable?
Well, the recorded ones are on the APCUG website. That's on YouTube.
So I just look for Sue Mueller or something like that?
Sue Mueller genealogy on our YouTube website, and it'll come up.
Okay, thank you.
And if you hook the Victoria group in with the meeting, she'll do it live.
Sorry, what?
If you hook her, the presentation in with the Victoria Computer Club, she can do the presentation live.
Okay, well, it might be the Victoria Genealogical Society that would be more interested in it because
Oh.
the Victoria Computer Club basically dropped the genealogy group, and so.
Okay, well, let's play that you're still a member of the Victoria Club. You're not an officer anymore, but you're still a member.
That's right.
So you will attend it. Therefore, she can give a live presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
More than
Murray.
one way to skin a cat.
Our stuff is for APCUG people. Michael Stock from
Yes, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, one of the things we're doing with our computer group is, the museum group, we're going out to science, technology, engineering, and math, and giving presentations to those presentations. We did 3 of them this year, and so we never get any new members, but the families and the kids are there and get amazed by playing with the technology and stuff and learning about things. So it's one way we're trying to reach out and help people too. And we've tried to also cover 3 different computer shows this year too. So it's trying to track the computer shows is the challenge, interesting too. And the arcade things and stuff. People do gaming. So anyway, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jerry, go ahead.
Thank you. For the record, Judy, raised hand is under the React logo. There's a heart down there. It says React. And if you click on that, you get a bunch of options, and one of them is raised hand. Also, I wanted to thank the amount of time that you all volunteers put in is just phenomenal. I want to thank you all because I come to these meetings and I've been in computers my entire career. So, I don't know, I always learn something new. So I'm no beginner, but I really enjoy coming to this. I go to Ray's meetings, so his patient club, So thank you all.
Thank you, Jerry. Always appreciate your input.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, as there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn
Oh.
the 2025 business meeting.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carrie? Okay, the meeting is adjourned, and thank you all for attending.
Recording stopped.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, we're excited to see you. I'll put you on the email list and you're set up your email account and everything and get that off to you the next day or so. Get you all part of the group.
All right.
I want to give you a spam call information sometime. Had a strange one.
All right, I have someplace I had to be at 2 o'clock, so I'm already 5 minutes late. So I'm going to sign off now, and thank you again, everybody, for attending. I think it was a very good meeting, and we covered quite a bit.